I think that the mid-20s are a time to mess up and like learn from your mistakes because I definitely was not at my prime at 25. I was like severely beaten down. So
Yeah,
I think I'm in the same boat as you. Is like I'm finally finding that trajectory of like I want to be old and like be awesome
yeah.
at what I do.
I think that's a great point. It wasn't. I mean, same for me. 25. When you're in your mid 20s, you do feel pretty indestructible. I mean, that's everybody says that, but I mean, it's very true. You feel like you just if I just keep pushing harder, if I just keep doing more, then I'll get better. And then you end up breaking down, and it's one of those things that you don't really recognize until you're on the other side of it. I know for me, this whole lockdown situation was a bit of a blessing in the fact that it forced me to slow down. It forced me to some take time to recover, to see how I'm eating, see how I'm sleeping. And now, I work out about 4 times a week, if so, versus sometimes, 7 to 8 times a week was my previous. And now I'm just as strong, if not stronger, and a lot more mentally with it than I was, pre lockdown. So now that I have that rest and all those other factors of my life really are kind of firing at a higher level. I'm definitely performing on a higher level, and I think it's you know us as coaches, those listening, and I know that you hear all the time. It's like you got to balance your work, balance your rest, and there's your success. And sometimes less is more, and all those cliches. And just want to reinforce that I am a very experiential example of that all those things, we're not just saying them, they're truth. So try it out, try resting a little bit.
I love so much that you say that. Literally, like you are a prime example because like you just got first place in your strongman competition and like you said, you're working out like fewer times a week, but you're being smarter.
Hmm.
And it just goes to show how important recovery is. And I totally agree. Before lockdown, I was definitely, I was very bad off. Honestly, like my body was just done. It was broken, and I didn't have any answers, honestly. And then I got more sleep. I was less stressed. Um, I loved what I was doing, and like that type of psychological aspect for me actually healed physical pain, like, and I learned how to be kinder to my body and not work out like a crazy animal if I didn't feel good. Like if my body didn't have enough energy for the day, I wasn't going to go out there and do a crazy workout. um
Yeah, I think one thing, like in that same vein, I suppose, like when you started making that transition, like it wasn't just one day you woke up and you felt like, wow, things are great. You know, like for you, it was more kind of gradual, like almost, I mean, for me, it's like it wasn't until a year or so into that adjustment that I was like, that I kind of just took back and I was like, wow, like, I am not working out as more. I'm eating lots more vegetables, sleep is going well, and training's still going well. So it's a lot of people are after that kind of that quick fix, right? And
mhm.
so like, I mean, you can attest to it that it's a lot more gradual than we may think or may even want. But that's what it takes sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, I was highly resistant. Like I hated it at first. Like when we were sent home and stuff, like I don't know what to do if I don't have like because I was on this constant path of like run, 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 like keep going because like I had a lot of psychological things I just wasn't ready to face. And so I noticed, back in my college days, honestly, that's when it all started. Like exercise was like always a part of my life. And then I went to college in a beach town and it was very much body image focused there. And like as a young woman, you're very impressionable, right? And going through a traumatic event like a breakup can like catalyze some things that you don't know that you may have already been struggling with. So there's like a snowball effect, right? And exercise became my life. And like I would do 2 times a day. limit my calories entirely. Like I would I overanalyze everything to the point where food was just numbers, and then food was also all I would think about. But like I would look at pictures and stuff to like satisfy that craving, like that's what it was
Yeah.
to me. And then I was
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty bad. And like you don't, like you said, like when you were in quarantine and you didn't notice until a year in how much better you're doing. Well, for me, it was, I didn't notice how bad I was until I was at the very, like, such a bad point where people were like approaching me and like, hey, like, are you okay? Because, I got very underweight. And so that's when that kind of was the end of my college, right? All of college, that was an issue for me. But then it was a big wake up call when it was like a health, it's like this can be very serious health issue. So then, after college, I was slowly recovering and stuff like that. And then it wasn't until literally lockdown when I was like, I have to sit here with everything. And, it's very uncomfortable and I can't run from it because I'm literally stuck in this house. And I I like have to acknowledge everything. And that's when the healing started. And now, healthy weight, healthy relationship with food, exercise, like I'm able to compete in races again. Because I couldn't compete for 3 or 4 years because I did a bunch of endurance
Wow.
races. I did Spartan races, I did triathlons, and then I stopped because I kept getting injured because of I had I was malnourished, like malnutrition is what I was
Mhm.
going through. So it's kind of like
Wow.
withering away. Yeah, I got down to very low weight and it's pretty scary. And, as a woman, like you need healthy hormone production. And I just was living at such a low body weight for like probably 4 or 5 years that I'm very thankful that I could get out of that. And some people don't. So it's important if you're a man or a woman, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, that's incredible story. First of all, congratulations on getting yourself into a healthy mindset, not much less than a healthy physical status. I suppose that's really quite the story, and it's always just really surprising. Anytime you hear that, you look at someone and you think like, oh, they've got it all figured out. It's you like working out, like it's easy for you, and not knowing that there's this story behind it, and that everybody has their own path, and getting to there, there's a lot of extraordinary mountains that have been climbed to get there. So all credit to you on that. That was just an incredible adventure there.
Thank you.
Um,
And like you said, it's like the mountain. It's like once you're past that hard time, you're just like, oh my gosh, like I got over that mountain that I didn't know I could, you feel like you can't do it. But one day at a time and with the right things like movement, nutrition, recovery, and like mindset stuff, like Exos methodology, honestly, like if you live it, it's true. You got to live it first. You got to live through
yeah,
the hard stuff and then embrace how much it sucks and then be kind to yourself.
yeah. I think again, I'm a big sucker for cliches because they're cliched for a reason, but every big journey begins with a single step, and I think that's the thing, one step in front of the other, and we all want to get to the peak, we all want to get to that other side, but nobody wants to do the climb, and
Mhm.
so taking those small steps every day, just making those choices every day is what is going to make us get to that other side.